in my garden, so I'm so happy. My show is going to be done through the Facebook Direct, and so if you want to be on my show today, you need to be on your phone, and you need to just let me know I want to be on the show, and I'll click you in and I will bring you into the show, because we can do that apparently now. So Nikki Popovich, you obviously are watching from your phone. Hi, how are you? If you want to be, or anybody wants to be on the show with me today, all you have to do is let me know, say I want to be on the show, and then I will click you in and I will bring you in. We are doing this from Facebook proper. I am in my backyard with my new garden, and it's so beautiful out. Okay, so today what we're going to be talking about, I'm going to take off my sweater because it's so nice out. What we're going to be talking about is we're actually going to be talking about how do you find a reader or an energetic worker that's good for you. Oh my God, it is so beautiful out here. Oh my God. So, as I was saying earlier, it's not just about finding a reader or an energetic worker who is right for you, that is not fake. Yes, so illegitimate, snake oil salesman, what have you. It's also about finding somebody with experience, because we have a lot of people out there who are amazing, but who are very new and are struggling with their abilities, kind of doing their own thing, and that's really great. But you want to find somebody who resonates with you, and somebody who is going to be there with you for the long term. That's a really big one. We're doing things a little differently today. We're doing things from Facebook Live. If you want to be on the show with me, just let me know. Say I want to be on the show, and I will bring you on. I will send you, like there's a little click, bring them onto camera. I'm going to click that, and then all you have to do is take the invite, and it will bring you onto the screen with me. So we're going to be doing readings today, the big readings as well. So big thing here, and I have to say, is that when you are looking for a reader, my number one thing is always get a referral. Somebody who is recommended. That's a really big thing. I remember when I first started, for some of you might have already heard this when I was trying to do the show earlier, I went to a place in Newmarket called the Hedge Witch, and there was a reader there that I saw. She was incredible, resonated with me right away. In fact, 18 years later, she's like a sister to me, and she was the one who told me I was going to be doing this. Now, I got lucky. Okay, I got very lucky. The universe showed me where this store was, gave me the circumstances to go in, etc., etc. The big thing is not everybody gets that opportunity. Not everybody falls in the right place at the right time. So they go on the internet, they go on Facebook looking for somebody. They're looking for readers for hire, all that kind of stuff. And that's really wonderful. But make sure you have a recommendation or a referral from someone. Like you see that they're reading someone, okay, message that person and say, what did you think of your reading? Right? It's like if you're hiring somebody who is a construction worker, you want to see some of the people that have worked with them before, and you want to get references. That's actually really, really, really important. And Marie Claude says, I went to a guy the second time. He asked extra money for removing a curse that my kid had. I left so fast. Okay, so that's the thing. If somebody is going to scare you, if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, you politely get up and you just go, listen, you know what, this isn't resonating with me. Thank you very much, but this isn't working. And you leave. You have every right to do that. My reality is this. I have had people come into my space, and I swear to God, I can cry. And they're crying, and there's like, you know, they took $10,000, they took my money, they took my jewelry, and I would sit them down and we would talk, and I would give them a reading, and a lot of times I didn't charge them, and because they'd already been rooked. So these are a really big thing. Also, take a look what's out there right now. What is the going rate? Yes. What is the going rate for a particular reader? At this time, it's between $150 and $200, which I think is a little steep, but it's not as steep as, say, John Edwards, so it's $750 for 45 minutes, is a great big hit. My big thing is they have to resonate with you. I get a lot of people who actually do find me on the internet, and they will say, you know what, I felt the connection. And I'll talk to them and see if they still feel the connection. And I will always say, you know what, you need to go away, you need to think about it. Am I the reader for you? Then you can book. Here's my website, here's how you do it. And other times people will call and go, you know what, I heard you on News Talk 1010. That also creates a sense of legitimacy when somebody is on the air, somebody has a status of some sort, no matter how big or small, because then you can call the station or you can listen to them actually work. So this is, it's performance. It's performance proven. So you're listening to them, you're watching them work, you're hearing them, all that kind of stuff. This is one of the reasons I really do like having my Rogers and my News Talk 1010 shows, because people can see the legitimacy of the work that I do. And that's, again, very, very important. You want to find somebody who not only you can work with or feels good, but has that legitimacy behind them. If they're legitimate, people will know who they are. People will have talked about them. They'll be able to give you referrals, all that kind of stuff. Really simple stuff. But going back to the whole price thing, yeah, it's really scary out there because you don't know who's going to take your money and who isn't going to take your money. I know people who have gone to readers and they start out with, okay, you know what, I'll charge you $100. But by the time they're finished, like Marie-Claude was saying, she said that that particular person wanted to lift a curse from their child. Okay, you know what? First of all, that's not a psychic's work, that's a healer's work. Okay, that's a little bit different. Okay, you say that my son or my daughter has a curse, or I have a curse, my family has a curse. Do you have the name of a medicine person or a shaman that you can send me to? Or maybe a healer that you can send me to? Because that's their work. I'm coming to you as a psychic, right? And then see what they say. I actually had someone do that. They were reading my palm and they said, you have a curse on you. It's going to cost you $2,000. And I'm the only one who can lift it. I am it. I am the only one. And I just went, excuse me? What? That's a scary statement because they're preying on your fears. They're preying on those things that you know feel your trigger buttons. Okay? That's not something you should be feeling. By the time you leave, you should feel empowered. You should feel good about your life and the movement forward, regardless of what the reading is about. It could be closure on somebody who died. I've had cases where, people have been murdered or commit suicide, but by the end, because we've talked about it, because we've connected to that person, because we've sorted things out, the person leaves with a better sense of their life, direction, closure on that, which is a release for them. So, as a psychic, you are healing people. Okay, and so there are readers who, when they read, will unlock or release these things that are necessary to release. So you're going to know if that reading was a good reading for you because, number one, the accuracy, we'll talk about that in a little bit. The accuracy is there, but also as you begin to read with them and they begin to read with you, you start to feel calmer. You start to feel really good. You start to see that the questions you're asking are organic. It should feel like you're sitting with a friend. It should feel like you're sitting with a confidant. That is a really important thing for me. Getting to the whole concept of accuracy, well, that's obviously, that's a gimme. If they're not accurate, then why are you there? So how do you know if a person's going to be accurate? Well, number one, as soon as you walk in, they should already start reading you. So, they come in, you sit down with them, and boom, the information is already there. For me, as soon as somebody hits the threshold of my office or my space, I am already reading them. I'm already picking up little specifics. And that's another thing. I'm going to sit back on this absolutely gorgeous tree here. Oh my God, this feels so good. That's another thing. As soon as somebody walks in, I'm already pulling out those specifics. And the specifics are really important. Now, you'll have people who are really good with certain types of specifics and others who are okay with other types of specifics, and somebody who can do it all. For me, sometimes, it's a rare occasion now, I have trouble pulling a name, right? But the reality is I can see them, I can describe them. I know who they are, the father, mother, aunt, uncle, great-grandfather, friend, all that kind of stuff. I can see the circumstances around them, how they died. These are little things that are really important to show their legitimacy. One of my favorite things to do, because everybody loves their family, is talk about the family. Okay, as soon as they walk through the door, oh, you know what, how's your son doing in school? I know he's got that, bully he's been dealing with, but I guess he's been dealing with it really well. And you just see people's jaw drop. The reality is that when you start to talk about someone's family, you're hitting their heart chord. So when you're looking for somebody who can describe personalities even, so it's not just names and places and that kind of stuff, they can tell you the personality traits, the relationships between kids, the relationships between aunts and uncles, and the turmoil that's happening, or the peace, or the marriage that's impending, and what to expect there. Describing relationships is a really important one, because we love our specifics. Okay, and we love the relationships around us and knowing all about them. Why is this person in my life? Do I have a past life around them? Some readers will be able to do that, some won't. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when you're looking for a legitimate reader, just because they can't do a certain aspect of the reading doesn't mean they're not legitimate. Okay, I know people who are amazing mediums, but they can't work with animal communications for whatever reasons. Lisa says, Angel, is it okay for you to have more than one reader that resonates with you? Oh, yes, so absolutely. So a lot of times what will happen is people will go to one reader and then they'll come to me to validate. That's okay. I don't have an issue with that. Other readers do have an issue with that. And it's okay to have multiple readers, but I wouldn't make it more than two that you trust. And I wouldn't go necessarily back to back either all the time. So you might have a situation where, yeah, you want to go back to back because you want to make sure, or let's see what they have to say. And remember too, every reader is different. So the reality is that what I pick up in a situation, they may pick up too, but they may be able to expand, or vice versa. Because we're all vibrational, we can see things in our own vibration, another person's vibration, that perhaps another person can't. So I'll give you a really clear example of that. Krista, I'm going to get to your question because that's a fabulous question. I had a woman come in. She had some horses. She had taken them to 10 different readers. I didn't know this. And she said, tell me about this horse. So I told her all about the emotional turmoil this horse had gone through. And what was really, really interesting is she got really upset. And she goes, I took them to 10 different readers and they didn't get that, but you did. And I said, well, that's because they're different, because they're on a different vibration. But because you took them to those readers, now you have a whole picture. And she did this over a course of 2 years. Okay, it's not like she went from reader to reader to reader to reader. And she goes, but that's the information I really needed. Okay, fantastic. Well, now you have it, right? So again, just because a reader is getting information doesn't mean, or information you're not necessarily looking for, doesn't mean they're not legitimate. It means that you're getting the information that you're ready for in that moment. And ask questions. You know, I want to know more about my emotional state of my horse. I want to know what's going with them on a mental level. You know, it's great that you're giving me the physical. Because remember that there are different kinds of intuitives, okay? And we're going to talk about that. Krista says, what about readings online? I've had them done online, never asked, but how does that work? How do you get feelings from us when you aren't present in front of you? 100% believer in what you do. Thanks, Krista. Okay, fantastic question. Absolutely love this question. Okay, so Debbie wants to be in the audience. We're going to work with her in a minute. My big thing is this. So Debbie, you have to be on your phone in order for that to happen, okay? Just so you know. In this particular case, because we're doing Facebook Live. So for Krista's question, online can be very legitimate. I have a friend who's an animal communicator who only does via email, and that's fantastic. So the big thing with online stuff is, think of it this way. I'm a computer and you're a computer, okay? My computer and your computer, they network. So you download all your information to me and I download all my information to you. Only difference is I can read that information. And if I have trouble with it, I go up to my IT team. My angels, my guides, my guardians, your angels, guides, guardians, whoever of the light wants to be there. Okay? So the big thing is that when we read distance, okay, so phone readings, Zoom readings, online readings, all that kind of stuff, we're tapping in the same exact way as if we are sitting in the room with you. The biggest thing that I really do encourage, though, and urge you is make sure if it's online that you know this person or know of somebody who's been to this person, because again, online can be a little sketchy. I've had a lot of people come to me and go, I've done online, look at the emails I've been sent, and at first it's really great, but then they become generic, they start asking for money. So make sure you know them. Now, if you have a reader who's fantastic in, a different country or a different province than where you are, yeah, do it online if that's quick. Now, I personally don't do email because it takes me a lot of, my thoughts are so quick. It's just too much, too fast to put down on a piece of paper. So I prefer doing it like this, or on the phone if I can't sit with somebody. But again, for me, sitting with somebody, I feel a Zoom is just so wonderful. I love Zoom and I love FaceTime and all that kind of stuff. So let's see what other questions we have. Will love a reading on my phone. Marie de Rosier says she would love a reading. So if you click on your phone, then I will be able to bring you in. So all those people, so Marie Claude, okay, I'm going to send you you should get that invite. Once you have it, just click on it. It should bring you right in. At least I'm hoping. I've never done this before, so that's what I'm hoping. They're saying that they are adding you, Marie-Claude. Oh my God, I hope you can come in. Oh, that would be so cool. And then we can talk to you. She's connecting. And Marie-Claude, there you are. Hi, beautiful girl. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm amazing. This is working.
We've been talking so many times, but not face to face.
A little bit more down because I can see your eyes, but I can't see anything else. So just tilt your phone a little towards you. Hello. Hi.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Okay.
So, what do you have for me?
You tell me. What are you reading?
Okay. I love energy. There's a lot of rainbow energy. It's coming out. It's very interesting. So you're looking at you. That would be your left side. So left side, there's a lot of rainbow energy coming out. I want to rebalance that a bit so that it's coming out both sides or from the center line. So have you been getting headaches on the right side lately at all?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's you just needing to rebalance a bit. So what I want you to do this afternoon is just sit down and just say, I ask and give permission to all those of the light, the healers who are out there and the healers who've gone before, stuff like that. I ask and give permission to all those of the light to please rebalance me on every level, okay, and help me with my headaches. Okay, just help me with that headache that I'm getting so that my rainbow energy comes all the way around me, because I want to see that all around you, okay? So what happens in our crown chakra is we have a purple light that comes up, which is really beautiful, but we're in a really good space. It's all the different colors, and that's our aura. And it goes around us and through us, and I just want to rebalance that. Other than that, you is good, girlfriend. I like it. Do you have a dog?
Yeah, two.
Marie, do you have a dog?
My daughter.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm seeing is wanting to go out more, so they need to go out more. Okay, so just take them for extra walks. All right, that's a big thing.
Thank you.
Thank
Do you
you,
see
Marie.
something for later on, like love life? I don't have one right now, so
It'll be next year, and it'll flow like water. It's going to be really nice. You're going to be very bashful around this man when you first meet him, but he is coming next year. Next year, around how they're showing me Halloween, but I'm seeing August.
do I know him?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
There is a connection, but you don't know him. So you'll meet him through someone you do know. Okay. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. First guest on the Facebook Live Direct. All right.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was so cool. So if you want to be on the show, please, please, please be on your phone and just let me know, want to be on the show. Okay. And I will click you in. Not a problem. Obviously, it works really, really, really well. I'm really happy with this. Okay. So as we were talking earlier, now I don't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about, oh, Nikki. I have met some excellent readers, but none of them could read me at all. So far, Angel, you're the only one. Oh, Nikki, thank you. Okay, that's a really good one too. So here's the deal. If a reader says to you that they cannot read you, that's okay. It doesn't mean that they're not legit, okay? Sometimes what will happen is the reader could be having an off day. You might be a little bit nervous. Sometimes it's just not the right time for a reading. I've had people who've called me and I said, you know what, I want you to keep your money, use it at another time because you don't need this reading right now. That's another earmark of a legitimate reader, is that they're there for you. That is a huge thing. This is about you. It's not about them. It's not about, oh, wow, they can connect to dead people. This is about what you need and your time of life. So if you don't need a reading at the moment, I'm just like, you know what? Just keep it, utilize it later on, and here, this might be the time you want to give me a call. Sometimes I do that. Thank you so much. So yeah, so I have worked with medicine people in my life, and they have taught me different ways of getting in. So I've rarely had a person I can't work with. I don't think I've ever actually had a person I can't get into to be able to read. What's interesting though is once you give somebody a reading, they can shift things. So future predictions can change a little bit between a month, maybe 2 months, for some people, maybe 4 or 5. So I could say you're meeting somebody in the fall, but then you meet them in December instead of August. That can happen because timelines can change, okay? I can show you your strongest path. A reader can show you your strongest path. But you step to the left, you step to the right, you can change it now that you know what's coming. Okay, doesn't make it worse, but it does make it different. Very important to know. So some of the earmarks, just to go over this really quick again, is that you want somebody who's in a good price range for you. Someone who doesn't scare you, makes you worry, you get up, you leave if they. Two is that when you are looking for a particular reader, make sure they resonate. Make sure it's somebody you feel comfortable with. And the other thing is referrals, 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 referrals. I cannot tell you that enough. That's one of the things I love to do. Like my son he's only ever been to one reader because I know her. I'm really picky, really, really picky. This goes for healers too. So whether it's an osteopath, whether it's a naturopath, whether it is a homeopath, whether it is a massage therapist, whether it is an energetic healer, Reiki master, energy healer, crystal stone healer, you want that same thing. For any of these aspects of energetic work, psychic healer, what have you, it's all the same stuff. Remember, when somebody is tapping into you on your energy, like a Reiki master, they have psychic ability. You have to be able to tap into your psychic ability in order to do this work. But it's just informed in a different way. As they do the healing, the images come, the information comes. For me, the information comes, and that's how I'm shown to do the healing. See the difference? So questions are really important. Another question I like to use is, how long have you been doing this? Okay. How long have you been doing this professionally? That is also a gauge as to how much you should be spending. For somebody who's been doing 18 years, again, the going rate is $150 to $200. That's before taxes, by the way, so I'm one of the least expensive, because I believe that everybody needs a shot. And I also do 15-minute reads, which are really inexpensive, and then the half-hour reads. So there's something for everybody there. The people who are new to this particular path, my dad always taught me, because he was a professional dancer, really cool guy, and he always taught me, you've got to do something for at least a year to 2 years before you can offer it as a professional service, because of the experiences, because of what you are learning, because you're growing yourself. These are huge things, okay? So Rosie says, I had a phone reading with you a few years back. It was 100% accurate. And although I had never met you in person, our reading felt like I was talking to a friend, and you made me feel so comfortable. You're absolutely incredible. Thank you for stroking my ego. No, but thank you. Seriously, it really warms my heart when I know I've helped people. Another earmark of a legitimate reader. They're there to help you, and that's what they want. And when they are helping you, that's what they jive on. I personally jive on watching people grow when they come to me 2 or 3 years later and I see the differences. I've had people who have been with me since I started, so that's like 18 years. It's so incredible. The biggest thing that I really love is I watch the kids grow with them too, right? So they have little kids and they're growing, and I watch their spirits start to emerge. And then those kids have questions. And they are now being nurtured in this lifetime to be okay with the spiritual aspect of who they are. So people who are legitimate will always be open to whatever you bring to them. You have questions about their kids, that's great. You want to bring your kid, that's okay. I work with even babies if I have to or if I can. That's always fun to do. I think these are wonderful places to go. Some readers won't do that. That's okay, that's fine. But again, it has to be what you need for it to work, okay? Um, so I have been seeing a lady in Toronto named Madame Miki for 25 years. She helps the police and travels the world. Love people like that. She's amazing also. So those people are very, very important people too. Now, Kevin Clark is a very interesting person. Hi, Angel, where am I from? Okay, so we have to understand sometimes that's not the way it works. I'll be at a party. How old am I? I don't know, you feel like you're 64, even though you're 45 or 47. So energy is a big thing too. I had a man who was Trinidadian, and his connection was in Trinidad, all that kind of stuff. He was traveling to Trinidad, so I saw him being in Trinidad, but he was Canadian. So I saw the Canadian connection too, but the Trinidad was so rich and full. Um, my biggest thing is that when I'm supposed to see something, I will. My work is meaningful. And that's what I say to people. If it's supposed to be there for you, it will. I was at a party once and someone came up to me and asked me that. They said, well, how old am I? And I said, well, how old do you feel? I said, if you want, I could do a reading for you, but you have to come into my office to do that, right? If you have some really good, pertinent questions. Nobody likes to be show pony. Not that you are, Kevin. I'm just saying. My big thing too is that in that same party, a man came up to me who was the friend of the cousin we were at, and he had a child in his family who'd been missing for 20 years. And you could see him wringing his hands, and I just kept feeling drawn to him, drawn to him, drawn to him. And so I went and sat with him. I started talking to him, and he goes, listen, he goes, I know you're a psychic because obviously people have been talking about it at this party. I'd like to ask you a question. Do you mind? I took him into a different room, okay? And I did that reading. This happened at running club. I love running club. I try not to tell people who I am at running club, pool, all that kind of stuff. But I saw this woman and she resonated, and I grabbed her and I talked to her, but inside, and she started crying. And I was like hugging her going, oh, it's okay, because I didn't want people to know. Well, she and I not only became really good friends, but the man that I saw her having issues with, it was really, really cool. Because what happened was I stayed with her through her journey, only to find out not a few weeks ago that they have now moved in together. He was going through a lot. He had a wife who had passed, and he was going through some shifts and changes. And it's hard to be in a relationship like that, right? And she's just spectacular, the two of them. So sometimes I will pull people aside and say, hey, listen, this is what I need to tell you. But usually if people just turn around and go, okay, you know what, this and that and the other, you know what, if the information's there, fantastic. If it's not, I need to go on. So, can I see past lives? Okay, so sometimes, again, it's about what do you need in that reading. So I can see past lives, unless I go into the Akashic Records. Now, I love the Akashic Records because that's a skill in of itself. Akashic Records is the library of the knowing of the all. It has your contract in it, what you are, who you've connected to, all those different things. My biggest thing is that when you are connecting to people through the Akasha, it becomes an even deeper read, even more specific. At that point, yeah, I can willy-nilly go into a past life. But that's a whole different kind of reading for me. So I have my readings that I do and then the Akashic Record readings. And I love doing those. I'm doing more and more and more of those, which I think are fantastic. So if someone comes to me and says, I really want a deep read, I will say, well, I do Akasha. If somebody just wants a general read, how's my life doing? Like today, I had a wonderful couple who had an anniversary. That was a great one. I even told them, I said, there's really not a lot here, but let's go through your family. Let's go. They really wanted this read. Okay. So there are different kinds of readings. When you are going to a reader, this is your next step. What is it you're looking for? Be specific before you even start to search. What do you want to know? Some people come to me very specifically wanting to connect to a loved one. Some of them are very specifically wanting animal communications. Some of them come in and they don't know what they want, but they know that they need a reading for some reason. That's a general reading, okay? So you want a general reading, something maybe touch on a little tiny aspects of things. So being specific before you even walk in is very, very, very important. What is your connection, Kevin, to Canada? I don't know if you're here or not, but there's something about Inuit. There's something about past lives. There's something about Native Aboriginals. There's something about drumming. Something about cars. Something about trucks. Holy mother, man, you got lots coming out, Kevin Clark. I think it's lovely who you are, where you are. You need to explore yourself more. You need to explore cultural things, cultural things. So I don't know if you're here or not, but my reality is, dude, you've got some really beautiful native stuff happening. I hope that resonates. If it doesn't, I apologize. But these are the things I'm showing you, things that you need to do, especially if you're in isolation. You have time for that. Matt, you'll resonate with me. Are you in Mississauga? I am. I am in Mississauga. My location for my office is in Toronto. It's at Lakeshore in Park Lawn, which I absolutely love. It's overlooks the water, just gorgeous. Have one in Newmarket too for the next little while. That's going to be fun. If you guys want to know more about me, you can always find me at raisingenergy.com or Instagram at raisingenergy. And I have a lot of stuff you can look into if you want to know more about this. I actually have articles about how you can find people who are legitimate, which I think is such a huge topic. And that's at my blog, mypsychiclifestyle.com. Are you guys enjoying this show? If you are, please give me a thumbs up, give me a hearts, comment, let me know. I think that this is, again, a really important thing to share with others. So if you have people who are looking for readers or thinking about it or even afraid of this process, please share this video. I am going to post it on YouTube. You can find it here too. On my YouTube channel, again, Raising Energy, everything is with. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at all those hearts and you guys, I love you. I love you. You guys are so awesome. Hi, Karen. Fabulous. Christy, I'm in Newmarket. So yeah, like wherever you are, understand a reader can read. So a reader can read all over the world, whether it is through Zoom, whether it is through Skype, it doesn't matter. I have clients in Paraguay, in France, in Malta, in the United States. I have all of these different people. And it's exciting to be able to do that. Animals too, right? So if you're looking for an animal communicator, it's the same thing. The legitimacy is really, really important. And a legitimate reader also will not find competition. If they don't resonate with you, they'll be like, you know what, I really want to give you this reading, but I think you really belong with an animal communicator. And I've had that happen when people send them to me or I send them to others. I don't resonate right now, but you know what? I have a friend who's a medical intuitive and everything about you is about health and healing. You need to go see them right now. Okay, so it's a team effort. A really amazing reader will have a team or tribe around them, people that they can send you to, whether it's a psychologist or whether it is, for some people, victim services or even an osteopath or a naturopath. It doesn't matter. As long as they have a tribe around them, this is somebody who can put their money where their mouth is. Okay. Maria says, I look forward to Tuesday afternoons. You know what? So do I. This is like one of my highlights, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So if anybody wants to come and sit with me, you are more than welcome to let me know. Be on your phone. I will click you in, and we'll bring you in, and we can talk to you and enjoy our time together. I don't even know what time it is. I can't see the time on this thing. It's really weird. I don't know what time it is, but you know what? I don't really care either. I'm having too much of a good time. So this is a broad topic because when we look at an animal communicator, now we're talking about our precious animals. And that's a really big thing for me because animal communicators, these are far and few between for me. Okay, readers, I find a lot of legitimate ones who are really fantastic. Animal communicators, not so much. Not so much. I have a handful of people that I've run into that I can say, yeah, you know what, this is somebody who can really you work with. If you have a lost animal, good luck trying to find somebody who's going to work with you because that's one that a lot of animal communicators won't work with anymore, partly because the owner is highly, highly emotional, but also outcomes are not exactly at times what the owner is expecting. Also, they can find a lot of animal communicators who will do that. So if you're looking for somebody to work with a lost animal, look for what's known as a finder. They are there. These are people who specifically work with lost animals, missing persons, missing objects, that kind of thing. Not my forte. I am not what's known as a finder, although I have been lucky enough to find animals and to find things. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be as not jerky or with this thing as I can. Really, really, really important stuff. Okay, really important for you to know the different kinds of readers. If you're looking for someone for health and healing, you know, you have an impending biopsy coming up or something coming up that's a test, you might want to look for somebody who's a medical intuitive. You might want to find somebody who's an animal communicator who works specifically with mediumship, grieving animals for those who have crossed over. So when I talk about grieving animals, I'm not just talking about the owners. Remember that animals have siblings. Those siblings are going through stuff too. They need to be talked to. So when you go to an animal communicator, ask them, do you do mediumship with animals? Ask them, can you work with the siblings of my animal? We're going through a grieving process right now. Do you work with grieving families and animal families? So these are some of the questions you can ask. How long have you been doing this, right? Do you have referrals? How much do you charge? Okay. Do you do mediumship? Like you're being specific, right? So if you're looking for someone who does medium, do you do mediumship? Do you do this? Do you do that? It is okay to ask those questions because the reader has to fit you. Okay. Even the energy worker has to fit you. I'm looking for a Reiki master. Well, I kind of do Reiki, but I do energy work too. No, I'm looking for somebody to do specifically Reiki. Okay. If they don't do it, they don't do it, but they might know somebody who does. That's a huge thing. Okay. So again, no competition. That's really important to understand. I had a woman call me from, I think it was Whitby, and she asked me to come out her way, and that's a long way for me right now. And I told her, I said, well, I don't really work in that area. And she goes, oh, I thought you did. I'm so sorry. She was really nice. And I said, well, maybe you want to go on the internet and find somebody. We were on the phone, and she goes, well, I don't have internet. I said, okay, fine. So I took the next half hour, and we sat down, and I found all the stores that were there. I looked up all the readers that were there, and then I went on the internet. I saw if they had referrals. So that's the other thing, testimonials, right? So I got the name. I went and saw if they had a website, that kind of thing. And I helped her find somebody who's good for her. Okay. So again, that whole idea of helping others is really huge. Really, really huge. If a reader says they can't work with you that day, that's okay. Can you defer our reading, or do you have somebody else that you can refer me to? That's okay too. Because sometimes, like I've been sick before, and I would rather not read somebody because I just want to be 100% for them. Now, I've also had circumstances where I've learned how to just put my stuff aside and read that day, and it's been beautiful in Bangor. Kim Sharon, that just shows your big heart. Aw, thank you. But you know what? I think anybody who does this work has a huge golden heart, because the reality, oh, thanks for the hearts, guys. I really appreciate that. My biggest thing is I think anybody who does this work has a golden heart, and you can feel it. And that's the thing. That's what I mean by resonates. It's not just about the interaction you have. How do they feel to you? Do not forget, you are intuitive. A lot of times when you are going to a reader, it's to confirm and validate things that some of them that you already know. You already know that this is the job you want to take. You just need confirmation from somebody who knows nothing about the situation, right? You are intuitive. Madame Miki downtown, you and her would do amazing together. Chrissy, can you send me some information on her? Because I would love to look her up, because as you're saying, every time you say her name, there's just some pull towards her. I would love to check that out. And see, that's the thing. As a reader, I'm always looking for people. You know, I'm always looking to bring people on my show and be able to do things. It's just, it's so exciting. Everybody knows this is my passionate. So then you also want to find people who are passionate about those work. You find a lot of older readers who are just kind of jaded. I've had my moments of being jaded, so please don't get me wrong. I'm just like, people, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But then you get people who are older who are just tired and they're weary, and those are people that may be amazing but may not resonate with you, but it has nothing to do with you. It just has to do with their place in life. Doesn't mean that they can't read you or they won't read you or the readings won't be accurate. Just be patient and be kind. Do they resonate? Right? Big, 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 big. So I pray. Chrissy Berry says, I pray so much it doesn't end there. No, and it shouldn't. And that's the thing, right? Praying is a very intuitive thing to do. We pray to our guides, our guardians, our God, our angels, our archangels. These are really important. Now, I like what she said, because that segues into the final part of what I'm about to talk about, which is, how do you find a reader? Yes, you can go online. Yes, you can get referrals. Yes, you can do all those things that I'm talking about, but it starts with you. And I'll tell you how this works. When I was looking for a feng shui master, right, I was online, and for some reason, I knew that it was going to be an instinctive type of feng shui. I knew it was going to be different than what I was supposed to look for, which is traditional feng shui. And I was on the internet, and boom, something came up. And I'm like, ooh, this is really interesting. That's what I want. And I knew, and I researched this woman, and she became one of my friends. I'm hoping to get her on the show, in fact. And it was incredible. She became my teacher, she became my mentor, she became my friend. But what's interesting was about 3 days before, I had put it out to the universe. Please send me that which is right for me. Send me the right feng shui master. And that's when I got the vision of it's not going to be the way you think it is. Reiki was the same way. Please send me the right Reiki master because I want to do this and I am so into this and I need to open up my abilities and I want to develop further and I need a Reiki master who is good for me. Within, again, a few days, 3 or 4 days, I was shown that I would only do 2 levels with my first Reiki master and the third one would be with someone else. That's exactly what happened. A woman was recommended to me and I thought, yeah, that really resonates. I checked her out. At the time, she didn't have a website, so I called her, talked to her. It was phenomenal. Again, years and years and years later, she's still my friend. She's still someone I've had on my shows. And she is one of my mentors, right? So I ask, I go to the universe and I say, hey, you know what? This is what I need. I ask and give permission to all those that like, send me that which I need. Send me the teachers, send me to my guides. For me right now, it's send me my professional tribe. For those of you out there looking for a job or wanting something new or wanting just to expand who you are like I am, I ask and give permission for all those of the light who can help me, who want to help me, who are willing to help me, send me my professional tribe. That's a good one, right? You can do this for anyone. So if you have any other questions about finding a reader or an energy worker, please let me know now. You have about 2 or 3 minutes. If you have questions you want for your personal life, please ask. I am willing to read. I love doing readings. This is your time. This is your place. Also, just so you know, you'll find this on my Facebook page today. Tomorrow night from 9 to 10, I'm going to be on the Holistic Health Genius. Click on that. You can join her group. She's amazing. The nutritional facts, the stuff you can change your life with. Like, she's incredible, passionate about her work. She has wonderful followers. We're going to be doing this kind of show with her. She's going to be hosting it. I'm going to be doing readings. We're going to have a lot of people there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm just taking stock as to if there's anything you need to. Oh yeah, stores. Go to stores. Stores are really good. So the Hedgewich Newmarket is really wonderful. Toronto has a few stores. I know a couple of Whitby. These places that you go to, you can call them up and say, do you have readers? This is what I'm looking for. Be specific in what you're looking for, okay? So let's just do a really, really quick rundown. First of all, the big thing is you want somebody who resonates with you, somebody who is a referral, who resonates with you, who is in your price range. Be specific. What is it that you want? Know that before you even make your first phone call or start. What do you want, right? What is it you're looking for? That will define the kind of reader or energy worker you want to be working with. When you find somebody who resonates, make sure that you talk to them before your reading, whether it's through email or phone or whatever, just to get the feel of them. Do they still resonate? Once you've decided that they do, how are you going to do your reading? If you're comfortable with distance reading, great. If not, go to their office. Right now we can't, but I do assure you it is very, very much the same. Once you are reading with them, make sure that they bring out specifics. So as soon as they start reading you, are they asking questions or are they actually just telling you stuff? That's another thing we didn't cover. If they're asking a lot of questions, that can be considered fishing, right? So if they see that you have a kid, oh, you have a kid, you have 2 children, you have this, you have that. But it's okay if they go, okay, well, how old are they? Because maybe they can't tap into their age because they're seeing an energetic age. But the biggest question they should ask is, does this resonate with you? You'll hear me say this all the time. Does what I've just said resonate with you? If it doesn't, let me know. And the thing is don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what, that doesn't resonate with me, because that actually helps the reader go deeper into your reading. Okay, but then that's a whole nother show about what to expect in a reading. And we're going to do that show too. Okay, what to expect in a reading and what to do with the information after the reading. Because everybody gets information, but what the hell do you do with it after? In fact, that might be next week's show. So that's a big thing because once you get the information, let's say it's for 5 months down the road. Well, what do you do with that? Well, you're going to meet your love in August. Okay, so what do I do till August? Right? So these are really important. I'm going to go through a couple of questions now. Angel, your words are lovely, but cannot remember them. Perhaps can you put your site? Thank you. Big hug. Yeah, they're on my site. So this is actually posted here on Facebook and they're here on YouTube. But the words, I ask and give permission. Yes, I will post that in the comments, Debbie. I'll do that right after. I've been having a hard time with my stomach, but they can't find anything. Okay, so that means that your root chakra, well, for you particularly, Maria Ramos says she has trouble with her stomach. I can't find anything. Root chakra. I want you to go find on YouTube. Look at how simple it is, people. Go on YouTube. Find a chakra realignment meditation. Work with that, but yours is really in the root chakra, so you can find an individual root chakra meditation that will help that. Also, smoky quartz, excellent for the stomach. Find a little bit of smoky quartz, place it on your tummy for about 10 minutes while you're watching TV. That really helps too. If you're having a lot of dream time, that could be another reason that your stomach is hurting, because when you are in dream time, your spirit's leaving your body. When it comes back in, it kind of crash lands. But again, that's another show altogether about dream time, which we will be doing. So for you right now, I would do the chakra realignment, one for all major chakras, or one for the root chakra, okay, or one for major and minor chakras, because everybody thinks there are 7 chakras. There are, those are the major chakras, but then you have the minor ones as well. Lisa, do you see anything for the court case? That hasn't changed, Lisa. For me, I still feel that the outcome is very favorable to you. The percentages have shifted a little bit, but again, it's still very in favor to you. Is it possible, whoops, Kim Sharon, is it possible you aren't meant to know certain things? Oh my God, so important. Resulting in the reader not being able to help you in a certain way. Absolutely. Oh my God, so true. So I can be given bits and pieces of something, but in those bits and pieces, I'm not given everything because the journey is still yours, okay? But you should be able, the reader should be able to say, okay, you know what, I'm not seeing any more than what I'm giving you right now. I have had many people where I've said, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. I have the information. They're not letting me tell you this is your journey. I learned this lesson the hard way. I had a woman ask me about all of these things about her engagement, her marriage, and they kept saying, no, don't say, but I did say it anyway. I went home. The person I was with at the time was really upset. She had told me I can talk about it because it was really cool. I told him, he was really upset. He goes, how dare you? And I said, what? And he goes, how do you know that guy hasn't been planning this for a year and you've totally taken that away from him? It's the only thing a guy has is to get down on one knee. And it's like, oh my God. So now I really listen. If I'm told not to say anything, I won't. And sometimes it's for good reason. I've had grandmas who want to know how many children, how many grandchildren, when they're coming, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? First of all, I'm being shown I can't tell you because you're going to drive the kids crazy. That could be another reason, because it's not your information. It's the information for somebody else, and that's their journey, and I can't take that away from them. So that's a beautiful question. Anybody who kind of forces that issue, you got to question that. But I don't know any reader who does that. If they don't want to give you the information, or they can't give you the information, not don't want to, but they can't give you the information, they won't. Some people will see death around a person and just be like, you know what, I can't read you right now. That's because they're afraid of giving that information too, because of self-fulfilling prophecies. You're going to get hit by a car. Somebody goes out, they're thinking about that, they get hit by a car, right? There are different ways to say things. If I see a heart attack, I don't say, hey, you know what, I see you getting a heart attack. I will say, you know what, you need to work with this with your doctor. There's something around your heart. You need to eat for your heart, that kind of thing, to prevent problems in the future. So there are ways of saying things that are diplomatic and discerning. Again, you should leave that place with information, with empowering tools, and feeling empowered. Kevin Clark says he did the Moonite. He writes with me. Oh my God, that was so long ago. So that is one of the things I love to do, is ceremonies. So Kevin, I'm so happy. This makes sense because, again, it's the drums, it's the primal stuff, it's all that. So I can't see specifically where you're from, but look at everything that came out for Kevin. I love that. That is a perfect example of how I read. Somebody asks me a question. Okay, that's great. I'm going to put that one aside right now because I can't see it. There's more coming. So boom, we work with that. That happens on the air too. People will ask a question. I'll go, okay, I know you want to know about your business, but your cat's coming through. is what it is. Everybody expects it now. I've been feeling stuck and confused regarding my path. This is Rosie. Not sure what the next steps are for me and how to be of service to others and myself. You're a compassion worker. Anywhere where you can volunteer your time, work with people in the capacity of nurse, it doesn't necessarily have to be professional, but just as a hobby, as something that you volunteer, children and elderly, those are your two fortes. Really start looking into that. If you want, you can even travel with that intention. So when I talk about traveling, like going to, Rwanda and helping build houses and homes, yes, you can do this, Rosie. Don't make excuses, okay? Because you kind of talk yourself out of doing that kind of stuff. You are a compassion worker. It's hard for you to see certain things because you're very, very sensitive, but that's about growing a tough skin, and you will with the experiences you gain. Boy, look at all these people asking questions. Kim, I have to say that that having a reading with you is amazing. Your heart and caring comes through so loud and clear. Thank you. I appreciate that. One of the reasons I like doing this is a little selfish because I, like I said, love to watch people grow. And I find that a lot of my clients, my past clients, will come on and let me know and give me that validation that things have gone well in their lives. Or some of them go, you know what, didn't come to pass, why? And that can happen too with readers. When you're looking for someone legitimate, understand that, they might give you 8 out of 10 things that have come to pass accurately, but then those 2 things might have been just a tiny bit off or still waiting for it to come to pass. That can happen too, okay? Julia Snegova. Love that name. Is it possible to have all chakras being blocked or stagnant? It can definitely happen that they are out of whack, for sure. Just walking down the street and meeting somebody who's not in a good place can put them out of whack. So chakra realignments and realigning yourself is really, really important. And like I said, it's easy. Yeah, it's great every once in a while to go see a healer or reader or somebody who can realign them for you. But people, you can do this, okay? The internet is a beautiful thing for that. So find something that resonates. On my YouTube site, I did find one that resonated with me. It was a chakra realignment meditation. So you guys can go check that out. Just put in YouTube, raising energy, and all my stuff will come up. Go to my channel and you can see it there. Okay, so there is one there, and I'm looking for stuff all the time. Do you do Zoom for 15-minute readings? Yes, right now I do. Right now, everything is via Zoom, even for animal communications. Usually I only do hour animal communications. I now do half-hour animal communications, and I do 15-minute animal communications. So because we're in isolation, a lot of my stuff has changed to make it comfortable for everybody, because I know that is necessary, and that's what I want to do with you, okay? Nikki. Is it Nikin? I think it's Nikin Popovich, Nikin or Nikki. I love your name. Wondering if my sister has anything to say. She's smiling. There's a radiance about her, health around her, grounded around her, warmth around her. Really great. Really, she's in a really great space. Not to worry. Not to worry. Okay. P.S. Still have no idea about the name Paul. So Debbie Marco came on one of our shows, and I saw the name Paul for her. So we still can't find out who this was, but there were other things in that reading that I believe were accurate, like the anchor and the tattoo, which is cool. Keep it in mind, Debbie, it'll come. I want you to ask. I ask and give permission to all those of the light to give me the name Paul. Do that, okay? I want you to do that. Say Heineken, Nikin. Okay. Oh my God, that's so cool. That was really awesome. I'm Maltese, so my language is very phonetic. So the fact that you did that, I totally got it. Jamie says, anything coming through from my niece Emily, who passed away 10 years ago. She was 4 weeks old. It's really funny because I saw a baby kind of just moving around and swarming, but light. All I see is pure. She has been turned into. So I see a guide and a guardian who was with her all the entire way. She is now of pure light. She will come back into this lifetime as a healer, somebody who's actually quite prominent. And I see her. So one of the reasons she came into this life and died for 4 weeks is because she had a karmic contract that needed to be resolved. It was resolved, and in those 4 weeks you helped her by the love you gave her, by the healing, by the purification. Because of that, now she is what we call a rainbow child, even more than that. I don't even know what that next level is, but she is just pure light. Thank you for asking that question, because I've never seen that. That's the other thing. I'm constantly learning. I love doing readings because that sharing that time you're giving me, allowing me to be a part of your journey, I learned too. And I have learned so much today, and I am feeling so privileged to have talked to each and every one of you. I am excited for this path that I'm on and being allowed to be on your journey with you. I hope to see you next week. and share this information. Share the knowledges that not only I give you, but you're given intuitively. Don't be afraid to share what's in your heart and what's in your truth, because you yourself are a reader. You yourself are so exquisitely, beautifully intuitive and made of spirit. Don't be afraid of that. That's a huge thing to understand and know, especially in this time. Okay. If you want to know more about me or you want to share this link, you can just go to raisingenergy.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/raisingenergy. Instagram @raisingenergy. I love my Facebook or my Instagram page. I have one for animals as well. I also have my blog, mypsychiclifestyle.com. Guys, I hope you have an absolutely amazing afternoon. Enjoy it as I'm enjoying you. Go out there, play in the sunshine, take advantage of everything that the world has to offer you today. Yeah, have a great day, everybody.